Greetings, people of Earth. Welcome back. My name is Jax, and today we are talking about people pleasing and how it can basically ruin your life. Um, I made a promise to myself at the beginning of last month, September, that I was not going to people please anymore. I wasn't going to bend to people. I wasn't going to just do things for the sake of someone's, feelings, going really out of my way to do something. I wasn't going to do that anymore. I was going to focus on myself and everything like that. Boy, did I fail. Um, Man alive, I feel like I am constantly bending for people and bending over backwards to please people and do things that they don't actually appreciate. But for some reason, I feel this obligation. I want to be nice. I want to be the perfect kid. Um, and it is absolutely exhausting. So, what I've decided is that this month, I will no longer do any people pleasing whatsoever. Clearly, I can't just like slowly wean off of it. I have to like cut cold turkey and be like, nope, I'm not doing this. Um, and it's really scary to think about. It's really scary to think of the idea of letting people down or people getting annoyed at you and that sort of thing. But I want to share a story with you that highlights the problem. And I've seen this firsthand, so I know it's real. And okay, here we go. There are two children, and they are adults now, and they go back to see their parents every now and then. The first one, the oldest daughter, she goes back every single weekend to make sure her parents are okay and to do things around the house to be helpful, um, you know, and she goes out of her way to come back and see her parents every single weekend. It prevents her from actually living her life because she's every single weekend she's back at home with her parents helping them around the house, doing these kinds of things. And her parents are a bit critical. Her parents are a bit hard. And so, she'll be putting in a new light bulb and they'll say, oh, you're not doing it right. You need to be doing it this way. And she'll cook them dinner and they'll say, oh man, where's the salt? And, you didn't cook this properly. And so it's pretty hard on her. But, she tells herself that she's a good daughter and she goes back to see her parents. Awesome. Their second child is the youngest son. And this youngest son comes back only Thanksgiving, Christmas, very specific holidays, maybe mom's birthday, that's it. But the sister notices that when the younger brother is there, the parents seem to light up and they're attracted to him, and they laugh at every joke he has, every conversation he makes. And he's putting in very little effort. He's being authentically who he is. And because his parents don't see him very often, when they do see him, they try really hard. Whereas with her, she's always there. She's always supporting. She's there from day one. And the parents seem to take her for granted. Now, this story is a great example of a people pleaser and how we operate. We think that we have to show up every single time, every single day, even if it's, not helpful for our schedule, even if it's detrimental to our health, even if it prevents us from doing things that we really want to do. We show up and we perform and we keep that expectation and that reputation as high as possible because that's who we are. And then you see somebody who just authentically is who they are and they do what they want to do and they live life on their own terms. And that is the most incredible moment in any people person's life, people pleaser's life, is realizing that you don't have to people please. And in fact, it might push you a few steps behind everyone else because you're always bending down to accommodate everyone. And while it's okay to have compassion and it's definitely okay to be kind and, patient, it's not okay to be so patient that the grass starts growing through your toes. It's not okay to be so kind that you give them the skin off of your back. It is not okay to do that. And it's a really difficult thing for a people pleaser to learn, is that actually people will appreciate you more when you're authentically who you are and you refuse and you do things on your terms. You don't just constantly accommodate someone. I think the hardest part is the initial hit, the initial moment when you decide, I am no longer going to people please, I am moving on with my life. Because at that moment, you have to pull away from all these people and all of these commitments, and people will go, whoa, what are you doing? Like, wow, this is so unlike you. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Like, you never used to act like this. That is a thing you just have to get over, I have found in my experience. People are always going to talk, and when there's a little bit of gossip or a little bit of drama, they're going to focus in on it. And so the fact that you've decided to stop accommodating so much is going to cause a ruckus. It's going to raise a few eyebrows. But people have an incredibly short memory and attention span. And once you start living exactly how you want to live, you can still have compassion, patience, accommodate people, but you are no longer people's servant. You are no longer the source of the good night out. You are no longer the source of XYZ. You know, you are who you're supposed to be, and you're comfortable, and you don't overcommit, and you don't agree to things, and you're okay to say no. That's my biggest problem, is I cannot say no. I'll say, yeah, definitely, I'll bend over backwards to make it work. And suddenly I'm going, yikes. No, I'm not doing it. Sorry, I'm not. And it takes a lot of courage to do that. And as a people pleaser, it takes all of the courage. It's so hard. I know that if you're a people pleaser and you're watching this, you're probably going like, it is so hard just to tell people no. And, you know, especially if you've lived your whole life as, like, in my case, the golden boy, the older brother, the stable one, the blah, 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 constantly being told like, oh, you're so nice. No, I don't want to be nice. I want to be nice, but I don't want to be a pushover. I don't want to be controlled in all of the ways that I have been controlled my whole life. So no, you just have to say no, and people will move on. People will find other crutches. If you are someone's crutch, they're not going to want to get rid of you. You're very convenient. I'm sure you're very, very accommodating to the people in your life who you prop up. Prop them up no more, and you'll be amazed at how quickly they find other means of standing on their own. And sometimes that can be really helpful, because a people pleaser can be very enabling of bad behavior as well. I have seen this firsthand as well. And you might really be helping someone by saying, no, I can't do that. You might be getting rid of toxic friends. You might be creating healthy boundaries between you and your partner. There's a million reasons why people pleasing is actually far more dangerous than most people assume. And you will be doing everyone in the situation a tremendous favor by stepping away. And it's great. It's one of the few things in life where just doing nothing is the solution. It's really helpful, because I mean, if you're constantly like running to drive your friend to work and picking up groceries for your uncle, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and these people aren't appreciating it, they're just expecting it. Just doing nothing is a lot easier than all of that. And so you can just say, sorry, you know, and that is the path to a beautiful life. So tell me if you're a people pleaser. Let me know your stories. How did you get out of it? Are you still in it? I'm sorry if you are. I will let you know how this next month goes of no longer people pleasing. And thank you for watching. As always, I will talk to you tomorrow.